Okay, today we're gonna be working on a washer. The brand and the make and model of the skim oil. The problem that I'm having with this washer is basically after the spinning cycle, you basically open the washer lid and grab your clothes. Now this is what's going on with it. Basically, your clothes still full of water. So how do you deal with that? That being said, what the first thing we're gonna do first, of course, you're gonna unplug the equipment. I'm gonna go ahead right here, right? We're gonna turn the water off. Both, that's off, and that's off. So once we do that, now we can go ahead, undo the lines, both of them, before we remove the equipment. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, take that tool right there, and we're gonna go ahead and undo our line, which is right here. We're gonna undo that, the hot, and we're gonna do the cold. And as far as the drain pipe right here, we already took that off. So if you didn't see it, just take that off. Just remove that. So the best way to do it after you undo your line, as far as your water lines, as far as the hot and the cold, this is the best way to basically have your water line inside, to carry it inside the dryer. And you can always kind of close the lid a little bit, and then the next thing we're gonna do after that, we're gonna try to remove it. So if you are able to drag the equipment and basically bring it outside, that will make your job a little bit easier, or way easier. So what we're gonna do is just we're gonna open the lid. We're gonna grab this pipe, just place them right on the floor, make our job easier, because there's gonna be water that's gonna be drained through them. And especially we're gonna take that back cover off, remove that, then we're gonna undo that. Once we're about to undo that, you're gonna see how much water coming from this direction, as far as from the pump. So now we're gonna go ahead, undo the water lines. And we know the top one is always the cold, because you're gonna see a C right here next to it. Blue, that's for the cold. And you're gonna see next to the bottom one, the red water line is gonna say H. H signifying hot. So now, if you look a little closer, real close, you're gonna see there's a little filter. Both of them got a little filter. Now, there's a way you take that filter out and clean that, because you can see there's small particles that you can see. See that big jump right here? So that can reduce the water flow from going inside the machine. And over time, if you never clean that, that can cause problem, as far as you can see a little better. See a little particle, and over here, look at that big jump thing. So it's a good thing you clean that. So this is what I was talking about. H mean hot, C mean cold. So you can't make mistake. It's kind of impossible to make mistakes when you're putting the lines back together. So the next thing we're gonna be doing we're gonna undo that. Take that off. Once we remove that, we're gonna expecting water to come out. Just like so. So just imagine if you were doing this inside your home and you were not aware of how much water that's basically in the pump reservoir as far as the pump itself. So now you would have a big mess. So best way to drain the remaining of the water from the pump is basically grab the whole machine and tilt it. You can go ahead and do it all the way down. Until there's barely any water coming out. So now we done drained the majority of the water out. We're gonna be removing a couple screws just to get the back off, so we can have a good vision underneath this, right, inside. So we're gonna remove these screws right here. There are one over here, and this one at the bottom. There's two at the bottom of this side. This one right here. So I'm loosening them up. So once you finish taking the screws from the back, especially the one up here and the one over here, so you see this little tab right here, you're gonna try and pry this just a little bit and just clip. So you're gonna unclip it. Once you unclip it, just be careful you don't break it, and then undo it real nice. So you're gonna have a screw here, and the same thing with the other side. You're gonna clip it the same way, and you're gonna have another screw. Now before you remove the back cover, this screw right there, that's a ground screw, so you're gonna have to undo that screw in order to basically remove that. So now you remove the screw that was here as far as the ground screw, so you can go ahead and basically remove this whole thing out of the way. Just have a little clip here, so just a little red clip right here that's holding the wires. So you just undo that. Don't lose them. Got about 2 of them. You're gonna have to undo these little hooks right here. There's one over here and then one on the other side. So basically, to undo that, just get a flat screwdriver. I'll show you how to do it. Insert it right here, or should I say here from the inside, and just like so. And you do the other side the same way. Right. Now, in order to remove the whole cover See this little plastic thing that's sticking out? So once you get that in, then this whole thing is loose though. And the only thing you have to do is just a couple things as far as come down right here, and you can try to remove that. And you got a little thing right there that's holding cover just a little bit. So pry both ends in, and this whole thing will go in. And if you remember what I was talking about earlier about the water gun, so look at how much dirt. Now this is the water that's basically unfiltered, coming from the city, as far as from outside, going to the machine. And this is how much dirt you have. So I'm gonna take that off and clean that. I am definitely gonna take that apart because it's worse than I think. So I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna take all this thing apart. It's not gonna just, okay, the job turned out to be a bigger job than I thought, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So now we see the condition of the machine. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tilt the machine. I'm gonna lay the machine on this side. I'm gonna have this side of the machine laying on the floor, so I can have access to the bottom of the machine and undo the water pump drain line. So now, of course, you're looking at the machine laying on one side. So this is the water pump right here. So, and this is the motor right here and everything. So this, now you have access to the whole bottom of it. And this is the first step if you basically want to drain the pump itself and kind of remove the pump and see whether or not what's going on with the pump. You can go ahead and do that. But other than that, if you're trying to do anything else, then you're gonna have to remove the whole cover. As far as this, the whole cover, you're gonna have to remove it. So we're gonna do show you the step if you just want to drain the pump and find out if there's anything like dirt, stuff that might be in the line. We're gonna show you. So you go ahead and get your tools and do that and pull that out. Now you can inspect the water line. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that. Now the pump itself, what's holding the pump is basically you got this clip right here, the middle spring thing, and you have another one on the other side. So this is where we're definitely gonna have to remove the top cover in order to, actually the whole cover, in order to remove that, so we can see exactly what's wrong with the pump. So as far as removing the whole case, basically you don't have to do any extra as far as taking any extra screws or anything like that. When you see that little thing right here, this is where it's sitting right. Um, so this is where it's sitting right in here. See that opening? This thing is going right in that opening I just showed you. So you got one on each side. So basically, when you put it back, all you have to match is match the opening above for right on through that. This thing goes inside that opening to basically make sure you're lining up and put it back the same way. There's nothing special as far as taking any extra screws or anything like that. So you got this whole cover actually out. You just lift it and tilt it, this whole cover out. It looked kind of like a mess, but this is what it takes to basically cleaning anything that you need to clean as far as stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that. All that needs to be cleaned. Bleach it real good. Then you have the case sitting over here, and we're gonna have to undo that water line that's coming from the drum, going straight to the pump. We're gonna undo that so we can undo the pump. So again, by undoing this line is basically get your tools, do that just like this. Might have some water, maybe not. So okay, here we go. No water out. So now we're gonna undo this little clip right here. Sometimes they're easy. You can do it with your finger, and this whole pump just come out from the shaft. And of course we got looks like. So this is your pump, basically what it looks like. And I'm gonna go ahead and examine the pump and find out, do I have to change it or what's going on with it. I can see some water residue. That's not a good sign. I can see there's something going on here. Got some water residue here. Another way to check if any debris is somewhere right here in this line, we should visit line there, but looking it through here, you can basically undo this right here, alright, if you want to. Or another way you can do it is basically get some water, which I already have some water, and as you're pouring water inside the drum right here, inside, you should have water coming out from the bottom. Just like that. Without the pump doing the job. So another way, that's how you can check real quick after you remove the pump, undo the pump from here, and you don't have to undo this little pipe. You can just pour some water in there and it should just dry out. If not, if after you pour the water you don't see any water coming out, then you know you got something going on, the plug, something wrong there. So this is the water inlet. As far as we talked about, I mentioned that earlier in the video how filthy and dirty that thing was, but I took it out and I cleaned it to the best of my knowledge. So, and you can see there's some of the debris still left inside, so I couldn't get all the way inside, but I did the best I could. So, and at this point, I'm gonna go ahead, put everything back, and I already put one end of the water line inside the larger side of the pump. That's the small side. That's the larger one that goes to the drum. So as far as the clip that's holds the pump, if it happens, so one actually fell. So basically the way you're gonna put it back is, see that little hook right there, and you see that little hole opening right there. You put it straight like this and twist. That's basically how you do it. And the way the pump sit, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. This little leg right there sit right inside of there. So we're gonna take that out, take this out, and make sure the shaft goes straight in there. See if you can see it. Make sure you're doing it. The shaft goes straight. And make sure you line up the shaft itself, so therefore if it's not lined up, it's not gonna go. You can do it this way, whatever, however this one is, that's the same way that's gotta go. There you go. The bottom is already hooked up, so all you have to do at the bottom, and that's hold it. The top, so you got both bottom and the top basically holding the pump. So as far as the pump itself is basically attached. So as far as the other line, that's the drain line at the bottom. So it's a little smaller, as you can see. So I got the drain line attached to the pump. So we got both lines actually attached to the pump. So go ahead and start putting everything back together. If you have to remove the drain, just like I did remove mine, in order to, I mean, in a way, you didn't have to remove it. You could have just undo it over there, just like I did from the pump. But anyway, so if you happen to remove it, before you place the cover back, make sure you place the drain first, because otherwise you're gonna have a hard time to fit that through here. This plastic thing right here, make sure you basically fix that as far as hook that up. So it's supposed to come through this opening right here. So once you do it right, it's supposed to come to this opening. So these hooks, to put them back, is basically they just like this. Like this end, which is a long end, goes in here, right? And then you just put a little pressure on it and snap in. Now this whole thing, the whole bag, is basically together. Now as far as the head board, is basically everything snap in. So this goes here, that goes here, and you just both hand, match both hand, and everything goes right there. Then you gotta make sure you put the screw back where it belongs, over here, and the same thing with the screw back where it belongs. And make sure your headboard sitting, or whatever controller board sitting in place. Then, so at this point, we got our screw tight over here too. Our ground screw over here too, and that one over here too. So everything is basically attached. Everything is together. So at this point, we put everything back, and